Good evening, everyone. If anyone in the audience requires a headset for translation, Spanish translation, please raise your hand and a device will be provided for you. Member Esquerra.
Buenas tardes a todos. Bienvenidos a la reunión regular. Si alguien en la audiencia requiere algunos audífonos para que se les traduzca al español, por favor levante su mano y un dispositivo se le va a proveer. Muchas gracias.
Welcome to the Palm Springs Unified School District regular meeting of the Board of Education. Today is Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. We are so glad you're here with us, whether you're joining us in person or watching along on YouTube. Thank you for being a part of tonight's meeting. I will now call the meeting to order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Member Jarrell? Member Espericueta?
Here.
Member Girardi?
Here.
Vice President Irvin?
Here.
And President Cornett.
Here. Item 6, Pledge of Allegiance, will now be led by Board Member Sergio Espericueta. Please stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 6C, our mission statement will be read by Superintendent Dr. Funches in English and Board Member Sergio Espericueta in Spanish.
Thank you, Board President Cornett. All members of Palm Springs Unified School District are united in our commitment to equity. We create deep, meaningful learning opportunities, build professionalism, and engage parents and community to ensure success for all our students. All students graduate with skills, capacities, and confidence needed to succeed in a rapidly changing world.
A misión del Distrito Escolar Unificado de Palm Springs. Todos los miembros del Distrito Escolar Unificado de Palm Springs están unidos en nuestro compromiso con la equidad. Creamos oportunidades de aprendizaje profundas y significativas, creamos profesionalismo e involucramos a los padres y a la comunidad para garantizar el éxito de todos los estudiantes. Todos los estudiantes se gradúan con las habilidades, capacidades y confianza necesaria para tener éxito en un mundo de cambio rápido.
Thank you. Item 6D, our land acknowledgement will be read by Clayton Hill.
The Palm Springs Unified School District acknowledges the Cahuilla as the original stewards of the land on which the Palm Springs Unified School District facilities now sit. We are grateful to have the opportunity to work with the indigenous people in this place. We pay our respect to the Cahuilla people past, present, and emerging who have been here since time immemorial.
Thank you. Item 7, report of closed session actions. Clerk Irvin, are there any closed session actions to report?
Yes, President Cornett. In closed session, the board took action to suspend classified management employee number 259175 for 5 days suspension without pay pursuant to Education Code Section 45113 and 45116, and direct the superintendent or the designee to issue the appropriate legal notice. And the roll call was unanimous.
Thank you. Item 8, approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I move for approval.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passed. Item 9, approval of the meeting minutes for July 28th, 2026. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes?
I move for approval.
Can I get a second? Are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Item 10A, the governing board wishes to recognize and commend the following scholars for their outstanding achievement at Skills USA.
At this time, will the governing board, executive cabinet, Nellie Kaufman, principal, Mrs. Galato, and advisor Connie Mitchell, George Tucker, and Blanca Lemus, please join me at the front of the room. did a little switcheroo here. Before we share these young scholars' names and what they did, we'd like to invite up any scholar who is present in the room from Nellie and Kaufman Middle School who was a part of the Skills USA competition. Congratulations. Come on this way. You're going to make a line, okay? You're going to stay right here. Okay. There you go. Come on down. Make a line over here. The governing board would like to recognize and commend these young scholars for being involved in their Nellie Kaufman Middle School Skills USA event. And here to share a few words about the event is Mrs. Connie Mitchell.
Wow, so I am so proud of these young people. They represent our nationals team, which was actually 14 students. Each one of these students competed at a regional competition and then at a state competition, and these are your California gold medal state champions. So that happened last April, and then what happened is they then flew with us to Atlanta, Georgia, where they represented the state of California in their different competitions. We had 7 young ladies in an opening and closing ceremonies team, which is a leadership event. We had a young lady do the job skills demonstration, which is also a leadership event. That means a lot of public speaking and poise and confidence. We had a young lady, a 6th grader, in t-shirt design, and she's actually wearing her design that won the medal. And we had 3 young men who designed a promotional bulletin board, which they then had to present to the judges. And then these 2 tall young men over here did additive manufacturing, 3D printing. And so all of these students, oh, Ashlyn, come on up. Come on up, sweetie. So we had someone just come up. She's one of our 7 young ladies that presented the Skills USA emblem, what the parts represent, all memorized, all choreographed. And all of these students put in countless hours of work practicing, looking over the rules for the contest, understanding what it is they had to do, and we are just so, so proud of them.
And the Nellie and Kaufman Middle School awardees are as follows: Raquel Alanis, Ashlyn Chavez, Ethan Contreras, Ofelia Flores, Kayla Garcia, Bianca Guerrero, Malia Jaramillo, Geraldine Gilmora, Ryan Moran, Mateo Olivo Cruz, Gilberto Salaman Lugo, Anissa Stodoka, Nolan Thibodeau, and Melanie Torres. We're going to gather around to take a photo.
Remember, if you can't see the camera can't see you.
Thank you and congratulations. Mrs. Galato, please stay up here. Mrs. Mitchell, please stay up here. Mr. Jorge Limas, please stay up here, and Blanca as well. Up next, the governing board would like to recognize and commend the following parents for being involved in Nellie and Kaufman Middle School site activities and events, Skills USA. Our parents are Norma Flores from Nellie and Kaufman Middle School. And Ricardo Flores from Nellie and Kaufman Middle School. Go ahead and stand in the middle.
I would like to explain why we're honoring these parents, because in truth, all of the parents are very supportive of their students, but we had 8th graders who missed their promotion, what we call our quintessential Cougar ceremony, and these two on their own created a promotion and quintessential Cougar medal ceremony. They brought the medals and the certificates and made our 8th graders feel like they had a special day. And took pictures for the families and everything, and I just really appreciate everything that you did to make that happen.
Nice, right? End of the day, no, thank you. This is a huge honor, but this was really for the kids. We're proud of them. We wanted that opportunity, that they have their opportunity to recognize their day in the sun. So we were happy to give them that opportunity, so thank you.
Thank you and congratulations. Up next, the governing board would like to recognize and commend, actually pause, will Mrs. Papp and Dr. Rice please join me at the front of the room? Sorry about that. Up next, the governing board would like to recognize and commend the following scholars for their outstanding achievement in Skills USA from Palm Springs High School. If we have any scholars from Palm Springs High School in the room who participated, please make your way to the front. Mrs. Papp, would you like to share a few words?
Yes. So these are now seniors. They used to be juniors this last school year. They competed in Skills USA regionals, won gold or silver at regionals, and then we went to state, and they competed at state competition within about 48 hours, maybe a little bit more, 72? Less than that. They had to produce not only an entire binder full of paperwork, but a 3-minute broadcast, as well as a mini documentary on all 4 members of the team. From a film aspect, that's no sleep, and they didn't sleep, literally. So within the first part of the competition, it's really, really difficult, and they ended up winning gold here at state, and they are the very first team to compete in news broadcast in the Coachella Valley to make it to gold into nationals in 14 years. So. All but one member is here tonight. Our other member is competing in his very first water polo game as captain this season tonight. But these guys are awesome and are now going to compete this upcoming season again to hopefully make it back to nationals.
And the scholars include Jasmine Recinos, Allison Master, Nick Thompson, and Wayne Clems III. Thank you and congratulations. Up next, the governing board would like to recognize and commend the following recipient of the Board of Education's Making a Difference Award, Palm Springs Police Chief Andy Mills.
Say some nice things about you. You have 2 pages.
Oh, geez. Cut it in half.
Oh, no. Have some nice things to say about you tonight from the board and from the entire school district. On behalf of the Palm Springs Unified School District Board of Education, it is a profound honor to present our Making a Difference Award to Palm Springs Police Chief Andy Mills. When Chief Mills arrived in Palm Springs as our Chief of Police in 2021, he brought more than just 3 decades of law enforcement expertise. He brought a philosophy rooted in empathy, transparency, and a relentless focus on the social conditions that shape our community. To us at Palm Springs Unified School District, his most significant impact has been measured in statistics, not in statistics, but in the trust he's built with our scholars. Chief Mills has been a consistent presence in our schools, moving beyond traditional policing to become a mentor and advocate for the youth of Palm Springs and the Palm Springs Unified School District. He has championed programs that bridge the gap between law enforcement and the next generation, ensuring that our youngest citizens feel seen, heard, and protected. His leadership and problem-oriented policing has directly addressed the safety and well-being of our campus environments, making our schools not just safer, but more supportive places to learn. By prioritizing community engagement and the LGBTQ plus advocacy, he has modeled the inclusivity and respect we strive to instill in every Palm Springs Unified School District scholar. In recognition of his work, the Palm Springs Boys and Girls Club honored Chief Mills with their Community Superhero Award at their 2024 Be a Hero for Kids Halloween Bash. A regular participant in the PSPD's Shop the Cop event each year, Chief Mills created Paddles for a Cause pickleball tournament in 2024, which raised over $25,000 over the past 2 years for the program, which provides scholars in need with holiday gifts that they get to pick out. Partnering with Do the Right Thing founder Dr. Terry Ketover, Chief Mills has been front and center honoring Coachella Valley scholars for their good deeds and positive behavior each month by hosting the ceremonies at Palm Springs Police Department and being present to recognize and congratulate all the honorees. We are saddened that Chief Mills will be retiring within the next few weeks, but know that he's leaving with a legacy that extends to his entire team, who will carry on what he's created during his tenure. Chief Mills, you've truly made a difference in the lives of our scholars, families, and entire community. We could not be more grateful.
Well, Madam President, Mr. Vice President, and distinguished board members, thank you so much. It's a great honor to receive recognition from the school district because, let's face it, education is one of the most important things we do in society. So your sacrifice, your willingness to give up time and treasure to make sure that leadership of the school heads the right direction is greatly appreciated. And Dr. Funches, You've been an amazing ally, and a good colleague, and more importantly, a dear friend. I look around the room and I see Dr. Gascon in the back, who's every time has been do the right thing and making sure that it's run properly and giving of herself, and just couldn't, I stand up here and get her an award. She's actually the one that does the work, so. And with her is Janice Simpson, my assistant, and Teresa, my other assistant, who these three really put on a great show. And yes, I see you too, Francis. Thank you so much. But can I introduce you to a couple of other people before I shut up and give the mic back? My deputy chief, Kyle Stern. Kyle, why don't you come on up also? He's my number two and runs the organization while I get to go to parties and have dinners and things like that. But Kyle's a great man, and hopefully we'll see him with 4 stars in the near future. And then Gus Ariza, come on up, Gus, is one of my captains. Captain over investigations, and just does an amazing job with taking care of all the complaints that come in, and also the media and the social media and all that. And then Mike the Bull Torres. I pride myself in having worked hard for almost 50 years, but I can tell you, I don't work as hard as that man. And he is relentless in what he does. So on behalf of the Palm Springs Police Department, thank you to the school board and all the educators, both leadership and in the room, for what you do. We truly believe that the partnership between government, including the police, and education system is what makes a healthy society. So thank you so much.
Thank you and congratulations. And this concludes our special recognitions.
Well done. Well done.
Got it done.
Good job, Karen. Right. When we go to San Bernardino, Mauricio will be there too. So it'll be a good day.
Good day. A good day in the neighborhood. please. Oh, we've got people being. Item 11, public comment. Vice President Irvin, have we received any electronic comments?
President Cornett, we have not received any electronic comments.
In-person comments. All comments are to be directed to the board, be under 3 minutes, and shall be devoid of any personal attacks. Members of the public are expected to maintain a professional, courteous decorum during public comments. Board members do not respond to public comments. If there's anyone in the audience, I have one card. Anybody else, could you please bring it over? Is there anyone else that would like to speak to the board? When I call your name, please come forward to the podium. State your name and limit your comments to 3 minutes. First up, we have Ms. Catherine Sullivan.
Actually, it's Dr. Catherine Sullivan, but I'm happy to make these comments to the board and to the superintendent. You have in front of you my public statement, but I'll read for the audience. I am a licensed physical therapist in the state of California, and I got my PhD in 1998 actually, from USC, and did a postdoc in brain injury imaging from 2000 to 2001. I have a lot of experience in recovery from brain injury, from trauma, from emergency trauma accidents, and also from degenerative aging conditions, such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease. And more than anything, I think what I want to address to the board is the issue of the shortage of physicians, nurses, physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech language pathologists, and social workers that are involved in the care of people with complex care conditions that include mental health. Mental health is not a unitary thing. And in fact, one of the things I want to talk about with the board and hopefully with the superintendent is changing the term mental health to brain health. Everybody wants a healthy brain. And one of the programs that the superintendent has active is with the principal at Palm Springs High School. They're doing the HOSA, Health Professional Education Program. My recommendation to the board is that we do that at all of the high schools in the district. And I thank you for your comments, and I look forward, I thank you for having these comments, and I look forward to meeting with the principal at Palm Springs High School and then the superintendent. So thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Matthew Pasquale.
Hello, thank you for my time. Sorry. Hello, board. I'm Matthew Pascal, and I've gone to Catherine Finchie, Raymond Crete, and Palm Springs, now in College of the Desert. Before entering campus, I'm wondering if I'm gonna get hit by a car or in my own car or get run over by a car. School drop-offs is life or death. I've noticed Catherine Finchie has changed their parking lot. Before, when I was there, it used to be way worse. The designs of roads and turning school drop-off, the design of roads and turning in roads is poor, causing crazy tense parents trying to get in and out to make sudden intense decisions on where to turn and when to turn. Also, parents being in a rush for work. Crosswalks and kids walking is ignored and put in a hostile car environment. And it's California people, so we drive a little bit normal here. Please, if you care at all, create huge differences in your drop-off for safety of everyone, adding for a better way for cars to move around the campus, to properly merge into lanes, then turn able to drop kids closer and safer to school. The outside architecture and hard pavement makes an intense atmosphere for students. The lack of shade and the lack of trees make it exhausting to walk from class to class as the sun rays beam onto students. Temperature rises and heat strokes become more common. I demand you all to please consider greater shading areas, use the trees as shade. It creates more sustainable and lively environment with students, as well as having local plants and adding a nice feel for students. Also, however, the concrete and pavement and asphalt placed in schools creates a heating effect on the campus, 30 to 50 degrees hotter than actual earth and grass, which cools the area to 20 to 30 degrees lower in its inhabitants. You need to start removing most of it and having natural ground to cool the area. This would feel nicer on students' feet to allowing more cushioning for the feet, but keeping pathways those who need it. Now entering a classroom, desks divided as isolated islands, bright tents, LED lights, and little to none posters. Chairs and desks with gray looks mundane and bland. Uncomfortable to sit on chairs and hard material all around feels strict. I asked to change in the ways the classroom looks and can make an environment be more friendly and less tense for students, which is more comfortable chairs and colorful desks with greater decor. Class begins with the unnecessary teaching of math from calculus and levels of higher education with the other quote-unquote necessary classes. Starts occupying space in our brains for being redundant to what is already necessary to understand, such as classes must be lower or down to lower grades to be taught or removed. Schools need to start having classes for the future professions based on students' want or need by what they constantly know to be good at. Schools need to have more life essential classes for adulthood. Local civics is needed as
You
life
have 20 seconds.
as life as we know is associated with the decisions with our local council members make as well. Also, and also teaching tax forms and work forms. Also, the history is crucial. If you're going to teach history, don't whitewash it. Don't make it America first, because it is those who would have it in America before British occupation than American attempt to genocide and assimilate Native Americans. Don't turn African American movements and great historical figure movements of color into a piece of a class. Those figures and those movements is
Try
why
to
people
wrap
are.
it up.
I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you for those comments. Item 12A, approval of salary and employment agreement of Coordinator Early Childhood Education. Mr. Clayton Hill will introduce the new appointment.
All right, thank you, Board President. Esteemed board members, it's my pleasure to recommend Estela Briceño for the position of Coordinator of Early Childhood Education. Come on up here and join me. Ms. Briceño has served families and communities for over 26 years, beginning in Long Beach, California, with Children's Home Society of California. In 2002, she became a child care liaison for Riverside County Office of Education, assigned to work with families in Indio, California. In 2008, Ms. Briceño was assigned to serve as child care coordinator with Department of Public Social Services, and then transitioning to the position of regional manager at Riverside County First Five in 2017. In her current role, she provides leadership and oversight to family resource centers, ensuring high-quality service delivery and alignment with organizational goals and community needs. Ms. Briceño holds a Child Development Program Director permit, a class infant and toddler trainer of trainers, community of practice facilitator, and certified community health worker, to name a few licenses. She also holds a Master's of Business Administration from the University of Phoenix and a Bachelor's of Arts in Sociology from Long Beach, as well as a Bachelor of Science, Social Science from Brandman. Her former coordinator of ECE from Desert Sands, Debbie Lucatis, said the following: Ms. Briceño is a great listener, allowing her to effectively assist and train colleagues. She is highly organized and capable in her approach to problem solving, making solutions focused and professional. Welcome, Ms. Briceño. Please address the board and introduce any guests that are here in the audience.
Good evening, distinguished board members, superintendent, cabinet, and community members. I am beyond grateful and honored to be able to serve as an ECE coordinator for the Child Development Program. I look forward to working alongside the ECE teachers and staff and the leadership team. I'm excited to be part of the team, so I appreciate you all. I also want to acknowledge my family who's here tonight. I have my 2 sons, Christian and Jeremiah, and my husband, Ricardo Briseño. I want to give them thanks for always supporting me and in all of my endeavors. So thank you. I'm looking forward to joining the team. Thank you.
Can I get a motion to approve the following employment agreement? Employment agreement with Estela, is it Bursino? Briseño, Coordinator of Early Childhood Education, salary schedule 223, column 4, step 2, effective date August 25th, 2026. Can I get a motion to approve? Can I get a second? Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passed. Congratulations. Item 12B, approval of salary and employment agreement of Assistant Principal, Cathedral City High School, OE-4.4. Mr. Hill will introduce the new appointment.
Thank you again, Board President Cornett. It's my pleasure to recommend Carrie Lynn Danglis for the position of Assistant Principal Athletic Director for Cathedral City High School. Ms. Danglis began her career in public education as a physical education teacher in Baldwin Park Unified School District in 1993. In 1999, Ms. Danglis joined Palm Springs Unified as a physical education and dance teacher at Cathedral City High School. In 2016 to present, Ms. Danglis has served as the certificated librarian for Cathedral City High School while coordinating a variety of events such as IB Extended Essay Program and the IB Creative Activity Service Program. During the second semester of the 25-26 school year, Ms. Danglis also was assigned as the interim AP/AD at Cathedral City High School. She holds an administrative service credential, single subject clear credential in PE, authorization to teach introductory English, and a teacher librarian clear credential. Ms. Danglis holds 2 Masters of Arts degrees and a Bachelor's of Science. Her current supervisor says the following: Carrie Lynn is a proven problem solver and team collaborator who is driven to lead through shared goals. She possesses the exact blend of operational skill and instructional leadership required to lead at Cathedral City High School. Welcome, Ms. Danglis. Please address the board and introduce any guests that are in the audience.
I just want to thank the board again for your leadership and your confidence in me and my leadership. I want to thank Dr. Funches and Cabinet. I'm ready. Let's go. I want to thank Todd Diliberto, who walked me through the interim process and answered 100 million questions, and Mrs. Bart, who has believed in me all along and encouraged me to actually pursue this because that was not on my radar. My family, who always stands beside me and supports me, I am eternally grateful to you, and I am just super excited to get our kids rock star status. So that's what we're gonna do, so let's go.
Can I get a motion to approve the following employment agreement? Employment agreement with Carolyn Danglish, Assistant Principal, Cathedral City High School, salary schedule 215, column 1, step 11, effective August 12th, 2026.
Move that.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passed. Congratulations. Item 12C, approval of salary and employment agreement of Assistant Superintendent Student Services, OE 4-4.1. Mr. Clayton Hill will introduce the new appointment.
It's my pleasure to recommend Laura Musel for the position of Assistant Superintendent of Student Services. Ms. Musel began her career in education in August of 2001 in the Bay Area. She taught middle and high school English for 6 years, roughly. In August 2007, Ms. Musel began her administrative career in which she served as a secondary assistant principal before becoming a secondary principal. During her time as a site administrator, Ms. Musel has led a variety of innovative learning programs. In July of 2019, she was promoted to the position of Administrator Educational Services, charged with leading the Oak Grove School District's mental health, social emotional learning, student transfer process, and even as the district's public information officer. In July 2021, Ms. Musel joined the Palm Springs Unified School District as the Executive Director of Student Services. She has been instrumental in structuring high-functioning systems designed to provide quality mental health services to the scholars of Palm Springs. Through her efforts, Palm Springs Unified is unique among California school districts by developing a model SAR process and successfully implementing effective processes for billing, to name a few, which has allowed Palm Springs to create sustainable programs. She holds an administrative service credential as well as a single subject clear credential. Ms. Musel holds a Master's of Arts in Education and a Bachelor's of Arts from both from San Jose State. Her former supervisor said the following: Laura has consistently demonstrated the ability to build effective systems, lead cross-departmental teams, and engage community partners in support of the whole child. She possesses a calm, strategic leadership style combined with a deep understanding of student wellness and equity. Welcome, Ms. Musel. Please address the board and introduce any guests that are in the audience.
Thank you, Board of Education, Dr. Funches, and executive team for this opportunity. I look forward to continuing to serve in Palm Springs Unified School District. We moved here 5 years ago, and it was the best decision we ever made. I want to thank my mentor, Dr. Simone Kovach, for her leadership and grace. And I want to acknowledge my amazing team. Sorry, I didn't think I would. I'm trying not to do this. My amazing team. So all the student services people who provide support for our students, stand up, because I wouldn't be here without you. We will work tirelessly to remove barriers so that students have access to the best education, and Palm Springs is amazing at doing that, and I'm just so grateful for the opportunity. I also want to thank my family who's watching at home, my kids, Cole, Caitlin, Dax, and Allie, and I also want to recognize my mom and my husband. Thank you.
The board is considering approval of an employment agreement with Laura Musel to serve as our District Assistant Superintendent of Student Support Services. Prior to taking final action, Government Code Section 54953 requires an oral summary of recommendation for approval on the salaries, salary schedules, or compensation paid in the form of fringe benefits of a local agency executive during open session of a regular meeting, which the final action is to be taken. Accordingly, I am providing an oral summary of the relevant terms of the agreement that is being considered by the board today. The terms of the 3-year agreement shall be August 12, 2026 through June 30th, 2029. Effective August 12, 2026, the Assistant Superintendent's salary shall be $223,970. The district's contribution to health and welfare benefits will be the same as provided to other certificated management employees. The Assistant Superintendent shall receive a $400 monthly automobile allowance and a $140 monthly communication allowance. The Assistant Superintendent work year shall consist of 223 days. Can I get a motion to approve the employment agreement for Laura Musel as the Assistant Superintendent of Support Services effective August 12th, 2026?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Motion passed.
Leshan.
At this time, Dr. Funches would like to make a few statements.
Thank you, everyone, and I want to congratulate Laura Musel for a job well done and being recognized for your leadership. I want to thank our board for taking bold action in the restructuring of our school district so that we can continue the work of improving outcomes for all of our scholars, and in particular, our special needs scholars there. So I want to thank you for your leadership and supporting the restructure of our district. And as you may know, as a part of our restructuring plan and stabilization, we will not be backfilling that position that she's leaving at this time, but it's a great restructuring for our scholars and for our families, especially on the special needs side of the house. Looking forward to working with you, Laura. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Funches. I never thought we could make Laura cry.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Item 13A, Educational Services Program Updates, Expanded Learning Opportunities Program, OE-10. Dr. Kovach will introduce Dr. Amber Goiscoin.
Thank you. I'm so pleased to introduce Dr. Amber Gascoigne, who is our Director of Expanded Learning Opportunities. She will be providing an update as well as highlights from last year and what you can expect for this year.
I'll wait till the room empties out. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to come and talk about all of the fabulous things that we were able to accomplish last school year through expanded learning, and also giving you some insight into all that is coming up in this current school year. So first and foremost, this is just one of a good memory for all of us. This is our group of kids from spring camp this past year, where we had the opportunity to go down to San Diego and visit 2 separate museums. And then we also had the ability to go over to PSUSD. They did a campus tour there, met a lot of great college kids there, and then we had dinner there. So again, just doing our best to give our kids access to so many amazing things and programs throughout the year. So as we're looking ahead and supporting Dr. Funches and through all of his great endeavors with the Vision 2031, I just wanted to highlight 2 of the areas that expanded learning is really focusing on in this next year and beyond. So making sure that our students have equitable access to experiences, to really deepen their knowledge, and to also make sure that they have opportunities to really grow, whether that's in their academics and also in their just their daily lives, and really being able to see the things that exist in this world and setting their futures forward for them. I want to just do a quick reminder of the funding sources that we oversee through expanded learning. So first and foremost, what is most commonly known as ACES. That is a little bit of our money that comes from the federal government, really focusing solely on that after-school support system, making sure that we have kids in 1st through 8th grade funded to attend program, helping support families. We also have an additional grant up at Desert Hot Springs High School. It is also through the 21st Century federal funds, and it is the Assets Grant. So that is solely for high school, and we wrote an application was filled out for all of our high schools, and Desert Hot Springs was the only school that was selected for that. So we do have a program running out of there as well. And then lastly, our biggest funding source for all of our programming comes from the Expanded Learning ELOP programs. And that is from Governor Newsom. So 5 years ago, he put into place the additional funding, really focusing on that enrichment opportunity to give students access to pieces beyond the school day. We understand we want to continue to support that academic instruction and in keeping them on the right track, but we also want to make sure that kids have more opportunities to give them exposure to what's outside of this world and to give them that additional drive to want to be successful in school. So our biggest part in our after-school program is our partnership with Think Together. And this past year, we had, again, ACES and ELOP funding at all of our elementary and middle schools. And then in addition, the Assets Grant up at Desert Hot Springs High School. I'm proud to say that we served an average of almost 2,500 students a day with our programming. We did a ton of work with Think Together. We continue to build the program there. Last year, one of our biggest additional pieces was the Sports Academy at all of the elementary schools. As you know, our weather is unpredictable, so getting vendors to come out and being able to do sports and athletic programs is a bit of a challenge when we're trying to get to all 15 elementary schools. And so Think Together has provided us a great partnership. We did 3 different sports last year. We did flag football, soccer, and basketball. And all of the elementary schools, the kids that were attending Think Together, the 4th and 5th graders had an opportunity to participate in that program. And after an 8-week, 10-week session, they brought all of the families and the students together on a Saturday, and they did a tournament style so that all of their families were able to participate in that as well. In addition to the sports, each of the elementary schools also brought together, for anybody interested, a cheer team, and they had them out at the field or on the basketball court cheering their classmates on as well. Think Together also supports our non-instructional days. You can see a little bit there from the numbers for the 1 professional development day in October, the 3 days of Thanksgiving break, averaging somewhere between 400 and 500 students a day. And then they also help us provide a program from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. every day after camp, and then also provided full-day programming in the last week of June, that first part of July. Excuse me. We did receive some additional funds at the end of the school year to bring in some programs, and I know you guys had an opportunity to look at that prior to the end of last year, but we brought in some additional programs such as boxing, photography, jewelry making, and there's a little bit of funding that's left over that's being used at the beginning of this year. The funds have to be spent by September 30th, so we're continuing some of those programs and adding in a few additional opportunities as well. So looking ahead to this school year, which we've already had the pleasure of beginning, we are going to continue with all of our programs at all the sites. So we have before school program at all of the middle schools beginning at 7 a.m., as well as Desert Hot Springs High School. And then we will be continuing our after school program at all elementary schools, all the middle schools, and Desert Hot Springs High School until 6 p.m. each day. We have really strengthened our partnership. Ozzy's here tonight, but we really worked collaboratively to figure out how to better our instruction during Think Together time. And that's a bigger piece, another goal that we're focusing on this year. Think Together has purchased a new small group math instruction curriculum that we are going to be integrating into the elementary schools and really having that focus. I have to keep reminding myself these are not trained individuals. So when you're 19 and 20 years old, teaching a 7 and 8-year-old is a challenge. And so we want to make sure that the curriculum that they have is accessible for their staff, but also supporting our students. And so the Think Together partnership has been great in that they know what they're able to provide that training on, but we also know what we're able to provide training on. Additionally, the Think Together staff has been very open to having PSUSD employees come in and do training for them. So Alex and the security team has come in and done training to ensure safety of all students. Lisa Todd has come in and done trainings on a ton of things, behavior strategies, attendance strategies, all of the things that our staff gets that they don't necessarily always see because they're not at a school site, but we want to ensure that consistency across all of our areas. And then I gave you a slide with just the enrollment from each of the schools last year. Certainly not going to read that to you, but you can kind of see the breakdown of what we have. You know, without ELOP dollars, we wouldn't be able to have a TK in kindergarten program, and we know that that's been a huge asset for our families. So over 600 TK in kindergarten students were able to attend program last year because of those additional funds. Another big piece of our journey in ELOP is Carnegie Tutoring, and we've provided some outlook over the last couple of years, but just wanted to give you some data on what we accomplished in the 25-26 school year. So we had just over 1,200 students that completed, individual students I should say, that completed programs throughout the school year. 91% average attendance, so the kids that are signing up are showing up. Over 18,000 of hours were delivered in tutoring. And Carnegie does a pre-test and a post-test with all of their sessions, and so according to their data, we had 101% of academic growth. I will be honest and say that I haven't had an opportunity to pull our students that participated in Kearney and compare that to the data that we have through our district just yet, but that is a hope to be able to pull and then share that later in the year with you through like a Friday information, just to be able to see what our students are accomplishing based on this additional support. We had 864 new students that added this past school year, so it was a great offering to a lot of our families. We did add Saturday in this past school year, and we saw 13% of our families were selecting that Saturday option, and we plan to continue that this year as well, in hopes that that will help some of our families who just have busy schedules during the day. And then we had 72 participating in the summer cohort, which lasted 16 days. So in the month of June, they could sign up for 1 hour sessions each day, and they were required to attend those entire 16 days. And the kids kept coming back. So you know it can't be too bad if they keep showing up. So we're happy to see that and hoping that we can continue to make that extra summer push as well.
Remember, is this tutoring only in person?
It is not. So Carnegie Tutoring does online tutoring. It is face-to-face, though. Unlike some of the companies that we've had in years prior, where it was more of a chat-based feature, Carnegie does put you in front of a screen with a real tutor. It is live interactions. All of the tutors that Carnegie hires are actually certificated teachers. So this is not somebody that's in college looking to earn a little bit of extra money. They are all certificated folks. A lot of our tutors come from the East Coast, so they've worked their entire day teaching, and then they've got some time with their family, and then they log in and do sessions with our students, which for us is evening, and for them is a little bit later in the evening. And it's been a tremendous partnership. I can tell you, we very rarely ever have families call and not be happy with their tutor. If anything, I get calls saying, can I please have my child with that tutor again? Some of my own families from Cabot Yerxa who, you know, were friendly families who I spent a lot of time with. And it's been such a pleasure to see that they've had such great success with Carnegie. And even as their kids are transitioning into middle school, keeping with that same momentum. As you all know, tutoring your own kid is not any fun. And so having this additional support and having that person that their kids can turn to has been a great asset for so many of our families. And we're really looking forward to being able to continue that partnership and grow. That's what we're looking for. So speaking of that.
I have another question.
Absolutely, John.
Why does the participation drop off in the higher grades?
I wish I had an answer. That's the trend across all of our programs, to be honest with you. I wish I could get into the brains of middle school and high school kids. And so I just, yeah, right. I just haven't figured it out yet. We get them to show up for the first couple of sessions, and then they seem to disappear. So that's a battle that across ELOP we are fighting this year. Carnegie has added in additional incentives. So they give out 4 Amazon gift cards every cohort. We run 10 cohorts throughout the year, and they pick a kid who has had perfect attendance, and they send home a gift card to them. So they too are trying to incentivize kids to show up more. I will say last year at the beginning of the year, we started just focusing just on the middle school and high school and doing drop-in sessions so that if a student was struggling with a specific assignment or just something individual, instead of having to go through a 10-week cohort, they could just pop in. The attendance was abysmal. No matter, I was talking to counselors, directors, principals, admin, teachers, everybody, and we just couldn't get students to commit to that. So our best bet honestly the best use of our funds has been through the 10-week cohorts. What I can say is that the attendance through middle school and high school has increased as our partnership has grown. And so I think if we can convince our elementary kids that tutoring's not so bad, we're starting to see that trend where they're still continuing with the program as they go through. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that will work.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then I just put up here the ways in which we're communicating with our families to let them know about the tutoring. That picture in the middle is the post that was sent out 3 weeks ago before school started with our first cohort opened up. The first 2 cohorts we start with 2nd through 12th grade only. TK, kinder, and first are awfully young to be starting on to tutoring right now. So we hold off with that grade level group until the 3rd cohort. But we've sent out the post. We had 98 students that have signed up for cohort 1, so about the same as last year. We are sharing everything on our district website. I attended both the resource fairs at CCHS and Desert Hot Springs High School as well for our TK and kinder classes. Was able to talk to some of the families who also have older kids in our district and gave them the information as well. Everything is on Parent Square, and I continually throughout the year am reposting. So every time a new cohort opens, I repost and remind families, like, this is an option. We send everything out to all our site administrators, our counselors, our MTSS coaches. We encourage our family or our teachers to give information out at back to school night so they have the flyer available as well. And then I just continue to pester everybody at the school sites and remind them throughout the year, when you're sitting in MTSS meetings or SARD meetings or any of that, please, please, please hand this flyer over. When we have students that are possibly going on home and hospital or, are going on independent study, like, this is still an accessible resource to them. So use it because it's there for that purpose.
Are any of the Carnegie tutors available for our Spanish-speaking students?
Yes, great question. Thank you, Karen. We do. So they actually have bilingual tutors that are able to support in English or Spanish, depending on what the student's preferred language is, especially for some of our newcomers who still need that Spanish instruction but also need that immersion into English. So when the parents fill out the form, they can mark that as a need. We also are very clear about having a dual immersion program as well. So Carnegie last year took all of their English lessons and they switched them into Spanish instruction. So if your student is in dual immersion and needs that additional Spanish instruction, that is also another feature that they have available for our students as well. I know quite a few families that have been accessing that as well because at home they don't speak Spanish, and so this is another opportunity for their student to be exposed to that Spanish instruction. And then another huge piece is parents have the ability to mark if their student's on an IEP, so that we're servicing students that are in special education as well. And they can identify, they are welcome to attach their IEP, it's not a requirement, but then Carnegie will reach out to me to say, what are the services that we want to provide? Do we want to make sure it's grade level, or do we want to, give them a little bit of additional support that might be more scaffolded? And the tutors that are assigned to students that have marked special ed are actually special ed teachers as well. So they have the skill sets and the ability to help our students.
Great, that's great. That's
Yes,
wonderful.
they've been a wonderful partner. They've really listened to the needs of our students and our families and have been really receptive to that.
Amber, was
Yes, sir.
the flyers sent out in Spanish as well and distributed
Always.
in Spanish?
Absolutely. Everything is always English and Spanish for us.
Amber, I have a quick question. This teacher, you say they are in another state, like, and they receive any update how the California curriculums are?
So Carnegie took all of our scope and sequence and our pacing guides and California standards, so all of their lessons are aligned to what we are actually doing. So based on our scope and sequence, they mapped everything out. What our students should be learning in class is aligned to how their cohorts lay out as well, so that we are either front-loading something that may be getting ready to taught, or we are doing somewhat of a review for what's already been covered in our classrooms.
Thank you.
So it's not just, oh, it's third grade, let's pick multiplication. Like, they're very specific and targeted in what they're providing.
Okay, thank you.
So in addition, we also had opportunities for our own teachers to sign up to do academic intervention last year, before or after school. And we did have some that signed up, so we held 63 sessions last year. We had 9 school sites that chose to participate. So obviously this isn't anything that I can require because it's after hours, but it's something that I want to encourage as much as we can. We had just over 760 students that were serviced by this additional intervention. We allowed the teachers to run 8 to 10-week sessions, really focusing on either math or language arts, helping them fill in some of those gaps, and then doing another session if they so choose. We are going to restructure that a little bit this year. I had the opportunity to attend the Solution Tree Conference in July, and a lot of the sessions kind of started my wheels turning. And so I want to work with the literacy coaches and the MTSS coaches to be more strategic in looking at data this year as we enter, and really targeting our students by need and not necessarily by a label. So we want to identify those students who need that additional Tier 2 and Tier 3 support and be very specific with them in a group. So instead of it being a generic, I want to work on comprehension with my third grade students, I would be asking a literacy coach at, let's just pick Agua Caliente, and saying, pull the data for me. Let me see where we've really got kids that are struggling. I've got a teacher that wants to do third grade intervention. It doesn't matter if those kids are in their classroom, but they're at their school site, because all of our students are all of our students. And so we want to make sure that that group of kids has the exact same need and really be able to target in, as opposed to it being so broad and not necessarily specifying what their true need is. And that's a big part of what Solution Tree says. We want to make sure that we are gaining those kids by their real true need and not just an overarching goal. So we're on a mission. We're going to see how it works. So my goal is to get as many teachers involved as I possibly can, but also making sure that we service our kids as best we can in that time that we have them. We know not all of our kids are able to stay after school, but as many as we can get, we want to be sure that we're intentional with what we're doing. In addition to the after-school intervention piece, we also do enrichment. We, again, same idea as intervention, where we're giving teachers the opportunity to sign up and lead their own sessions. So you can see that we had about 118 sessions that were held over the course of last year, just shy of 2,800 students that were registered. Similar to intervention, we gave them to run about 8-week sessions. I gave you a list of some of the opportunities that we had. And then in addition to the after-school programs led by teachers, I also pay for outside vendors to come in, because we want to make sure that all of our students have opportunities to enrichment programs. I told you guys when I started this job, I wanted to make sure all of our kids had access, and so that's been a huge part of me. There shouldn't ever be a kid that goes to a school that says, oh man, if I would have just gone to a different school, I could have had that program. I want to make sure all of our kids have that same access. So I've listed out some of the things, all of the things that we did last year. I also gave you the number of registrants that were participating in all of the programs. I broke it up by grade level as well, because that certainly differentiates everything. Some of the new parts that we had in last year were the 2 different pottery classes that we offered. We also brought in Palm Canyon Theater again, changed the model of what that looked like. We did a 3-week session where they performed Wizard of Oz. You can see all of our young stars up there at the top. And then we also did a second session of 2 weeks and 2 days. And they actually performed, they did a Disney week and they did a disco week. And so they got to have some of their own performances on each of the Fridays as well. Continuing with our swim program, our dance program, our aerial arts program, and really just trying to figure out what's going to motivate our kids. We brought in color guard last year for the middle school. John, happy to say, kids stuck through it. So again, just trying to find those glimmers of hope and really starting to push our students.
Amber?
Yes, ma'am.
For the Wave Swim program?
Yes.
Our intention is to help every student become good swimmers, so we drown-proof them, because I know that some places they make it an objective. Every single third grader will be able to swim and knows how to navigate in a pool. Is that part of this?
So I will tell you, in the 6-week sessions that they have, they do focus a lot on water safety. So some of our kids have never seen a swimming pool before. So they do have lifeguards on duty. They are doing actual swim lessons, but they incorporate some of the fun things as well, getting the kids to just be comfortable in the water and not having a fear of water, but knowing that if they had to, they could survive if they fell in or something.
But they don't have lessons in there.
I wouldn't call them lessons, to be honest with you. It's more sessions where they're giving water safety training and the kids are in the pool. But it's not like what we used to do with our third grade students.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because we're also putting 1st through 8th grade kids. We do a session that's 1st through 3rd and 4th through 8th. So we also have to be cognizant of the ages that are participating. Our hope is that maybe at the end of this school year, the Desert Hot Springs pool will be available for us to use, so that we can actually use. Boys and Girls Club Palm Springs is willing to take their staff up there and do similar programs up in DHS as well, because we know that coming down here is an ideal for our families in Desert Hot Springs. So the city, DHS is willing to let us use the pool. They just have to have it ready for us to use. So
if we could save one life by just teaching
I completely
our kids
agree.
and going back to like targeting third graders, they grow up and they know how to save their lives. So
Agreed.
that's cool.
No, I agree. You know, a lot of our families that participate ask if they can just keep coming because they don't have access to that type of an opportunity. And so they're grateful, even as an 8th grader that doesn't know how to swim, they're grateful that they have that experience now.
A lot of our parents don't know.
True story.
And it's, you know, they would like to know probably, but
yeah,
that would be intentional. And then the other thing is, we have such a big burger foundation at the Acrisure with ice skating and hockey.
Oh, I'm coming to that,
Are we
Madonna.
doing that?
Hold tight.
Okay.
I'm almost there.
Okay.
So in addition to...
Before you get there, Amber,
Going back.
can you go back to the slide?
Sure thing.
It looks like the aerial arts is like almost double of any of the participation. Is there any type of a contest or anything that we can maybe get our students in to where, or any way we can introduce it into our schools, looking at so many of our students are interested in that program?
So I will tell you that Ariel's a little bit unique. They have their business is located over behind Walmart, and they have big trusses that are set up. So for us to get that onto school sites would be nearly impossible. I will also say that enrollment in that program is a little bit more unique because last year we did not do sessions. So you didn't sign up for an 8-week session and then go all 8 weeks. We actually had an open calendar where families could register. If they wanted to go to one session, they could just go to one. If they wanted to go to 8, they could go to 8. So enrollment's a little bit higher in that regard because we had more flexibility in our scheduling with them as well.
Oh, okay. So numbers are a little inflated.
I mean, that's how many actually enrolled.
Yeah.
But some of them only attended once, where some of them attended 24 sessions during the year. I will tell you, this school year, we are modifying that a little bit to be more intentional with trying to get kids to attend a longer period of time. And Ariel actually asked if they could have, if you guys were all at the equity conference last year, and Ariel performed for us there. They brought in their trust and they had some of our students perform. And we are going to be doing that this year, but they're going to do a winter showcase. So I'll make sure that you get an invite to that as well, where the kids can come and show off all the skills that they've learned. And we're adding in a new class this year there. It's called something that I didn't know existed. It looks like the hula hoop that hangs from the sky and you do all kinds of things on it. So if anybody's interested, I'd be happy to let you come over and try it out. Clayton's in. I see it. All right. But we're going to give that another something different because we also know that having done this the last 3 years, there's some of our kids who have a skill, but we want to keep pushing them to try even more and to really see where that can take them. We also had our winter, spring, and summer camp, and I listed out for you the sites that we had, the different programs we had, our registration, how many of those students were special ed, how many students were waitlisted, and I also gave you a snippet of all the field trips we went on. So, Madonna, back to your question. This summer, Acrisure, or I guess not Acrisure, the Berger Foundation reached out because they had started restructuring some of their programs. So we had the opportunity for all of our TK, kinder, and second grade students who attended camp to go over and do ice skating. It was the best thing ever. They're fearless. You know, you can't put middle school kids on skates and think that they're gonna have fun doing it, right? Like they gotta be serious, they can't do it. But those TK kids gripped onto that wall like it was going out of style, and then as soon as one took off, another one started to take off, and it was just like this effect. And there were kids out there that had never been on skates before and were having the time of their life, and if they fell, literally dusted themselves off, got back up, and did it again. I can tell you in the 2 days that I was there, I only had 2 kids that were crying. And that was because they were both exhausted by the end of the time, and I think it was just tears of tiredness. So it was a great opportunity and truly was exceptional. That was the field trip I was most nervous about because we did a rotation on the ice. We did a rotation for street hockey indoors in the actual Acrisure Arena. And then they did a tour of the whole back stadium thing. I think the staff was more excited about the stadium because they saw all the cool places that you don't get to see as an average ticket payer. But they had a great time, and I will say that their staff did an exceptional job. So definitely a trip that we're going to keep on the list for sure. And it gains confidence for our kids, something that they're not used to. So it was truly a great experience. And one of the other great things that we got to incorporate this year was we took all the 3rd through 8th graders that were at summer camp up to the tram as well. You probably heard their screams as we were riding up. There was 8 days of it, so I've never heard middle school kids scream as loud as ever before. But most of them had never been up to the tram. So again, it's giving kids our exposure to all of the wonderful things here. I actually purchased kits from a local vendor out of Phoenix, I should say. And when the kids got up to the top, I had a science teacher up there. We rented out their conference room, and the kids actually learned how to build a pulley system that mirrored how the tram actually works. That was really cool too, because they got to see it in action, what that means for the tram to really truly be operating. I think I have a picture on the next slide for you of that one. But it was great. And then I know Laura Dyson already escaped, but we also partnered together this past summer to do hands-only CPR with all of our 4th through 8th grade students who attended summer camp. And it was amazing. Kids that had never done CPR before didn't have a clue what it meant. She also brought in all of the portable AED machines and allowed the kids to go through what that process looked like. And it really empowered our students. Something we weren't necessarily expecting, but they were really intrigued by it. I had several teachers text me right away, and they're like, "This is the coolest thing ever!" Now the kids are walking through the campus going, "Oh, there's the AED," and shouting and everything. So again, building that awareness to safety, how to take care of others in case of an emergency. And so Laura and I are now brainstorming, how do we get almost basic first aid to the TK through 3rd grade kids next summer, and keep going with the hands-only CPR piece for our older kids.
And the older kids earn certificates, the 5th graders earn a safety certificate, and it's recognized by the state of California. They learn through lessons and
We
modules.
didn't do any certificates. She just it was a one-time 50-minute lesson during camp. We wanted to see how it went, to be honest with you. Now we know that they're engaged, and so we want to keep pushing that. But we did give them a little heart, squeeze ball, and they did get a little certificate that we had printed out from the American Heart Association. They had partnered with us as well, so it was a great thing. And as always, we still did all of the academic piece as well during the morning sessions of camp. So we still had all of our math and ELA lessons. Everything is provided and developed by MITOSAs, using all of our district initiatives, making sure that it's standards aligned. And we're using our district curriculum. And then I listed out all of the additional pieces that we had as well, supporting our students during that morning time. And as I said earlier, Think Together provided that additional support in the afternoon time. So they were busy days, to say the least. So looking ahead to this school year as we get started, making sure that we provide those equitable experiences beyond the classroom, making sure the kids are engaged and really invested in what we're doing for them. Madonna, you can see the little kids skating right there. And CPR for you. We are really going to, like I said, focus in on those academic intervention opportunities before and after school, really being purposeful and intentional with the staff that's going to be leading those lessons. Continue our partnership with Carnegie, but also working to increase those numbers. If we can get 1,200 last year, we want to get 2,500 this year. The more we can do, the more we know our kids will succeed. And then just bringing in new programs. We know that after doing this for 3 years, there's some things that we can filter out, give a little break, and bring some new piece in. So we are starting with martial arts. We will be doing, hopefully, partnering with the skate park. I've got First Tee, a meeting scheduled with them. There's some other things that now I'm drawing a blank on, but just really trying to engage our own community, seeing what our community has to offer, bringing that to our students, and making sure that we are giving them as much as we can in the time that we have. And like I said earlier, continuing to strengthen our partnership with Think Together, making sure that that's meeting our kids' needs academically as well. And just preparing our students for their future successes. We know we have a limited time with them, and we want to make sure that we maximize the time that we do have with them.
A question.
Yes, ma'am.
So many kids are so capable. They could be accruing and accumulating hours of volunteerism. And do you have that already?
So at the last meeting, we got to recognize 8, 10 something of our high school kids who have come in and volunteered their time. Dr. Kuehling and I have talked about trying to figure out a way to get high school kids to maybe earn some of their community service hours during that time. Oh, rats, and there was something else I was thinking as you said that too.
Even second
Already
graders,
gone.
they could start their, if it's a, here we have a graduate, portrait of a graduate, they could start even second grade volunteering in other classrooms to read the TKs and that's a great resume start.
Absolutely. And the other piece that we were able to support this year was all of our time that we had for camp went towards attendance recovery. And so Jeff and I have worked to make sure that everything that we're doing, because it is academically based on standards and grade level aligned, we were able to help support with some of that attendance recovery this year as well. And we're going to continue with that. Now we know what it looks like, and so now we'll have better systems. And that, I think, is it. Any questions?
Any other questions? Thank you very much, Amber, for all that you do for our kids.
Hold on one second, Karen.
Uh-oh.
I do not have a question. I want to tell you, great job.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that.
We all want to tell you good job.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. I know, there's a lot to do, and I want to make sure that our kids have as many opportunities as they can. So thank you for allowing me to do this. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Item 14, board member comments. Do we have any comments from the board? Who would like to go first? Sure.
First of all, I appreciate, is it Dr. Silva that came tonight? Thank you. And her involvement in our Health Occupational Students Academy and giving back to Palm Springs High School and helping us become aware of our brain health and bringing your talent and expertise into our schools. Thank you so much. And also, was it Matthew Pasquale that came? Matthew, is that correct? Pascal, sorry. Matthew, thank you for coming up and sharing your ideas, pretty much about school drop-offs, right? And yes, that was very, very brave of you to come and talk to us about that. Are you a student here in the district? You were. Oh, you're. Good, good. So those two visitors, thank you so much. Welcome back, everyone. Happy New Year. Gosh, we had there was so much happening these last 2 weeks. Welcome back with our huge grand opening for the district at the convention center. I want to be honest, it was very personal. It was person to person. It wasn't a Zoom, and it wasn't a staff meeting. It was people connecting with other people and just like so delighted to see each other. And that to me was like so powerful that not many people wanted to sit down when it was time to sit down. And so bringing the district together in one area and I guess starting the vision together with everyone was really, really, how do I say this? It was really powerful. And so gratitude to all of the planners, all of the schools, and all the logistics. For me, it was a win-win. So then on July 31st, I had the chance to go to the new teacher orientation. Welcome back with Board President Cornett and Mr. Irvin. We saw so many bright teachers, and to me, I was just looking at them and seeing how much was going through their head and how wonderful they could start their journey together. And thank you, everyone, for making their day very productive. And the thing about it was, it's more informational. Really, they didn't have a chance to kind of digest it. They were given like more resources to start out the year, which is really what they need, like an orientation. So again, gratitude to all of the people that participated in that. I also, on August 4th, went to the Pro Grow workshop with over 600 classified members there. And it was called Celebrating Our Team of Difference Makers. And for me, I was really excited to be with our classified members, our employees, and I did stay and attend session 1, which was recognize, respond, and refer. And the session gave the participants ideas. They shared strategies on how to work with kids that need to be worked with in special ways. So I appreciate Jennifer Avner and Laura Dyson. These are the 2 names that surfaced for that conference or that day. They were there at 8 a.m. and they stayed till 2:45. And what I learned about that is there are para-educator academies. And there are 3 academies. One's called Inspire, one's called the Reed Academy, and one is called the Bridge Academy. And there are 5 dates where the paraprofessionals or classified employees have a chance to advance their learning and their skills. So appreciation to all of not just that one day, but it's beyond for the school year. Then on August 5th, going to Della Linde, I was a greeter. And I was there at 7:15, school started at 7:45, and I wondered if it was the first day of school because it was like kind of empty. Then cars started parking and everyone was in place. Now this is genius. This district has a back to school night or open house so the kids know who their teachers are, they know where their classrooms are, everything is front loaded. They all are like, bye mom, thanks, see you later. At the gate, there were no criers, there was no traffic, and there were happy parents, like, yay, we get to leave now. So, you know, you'd think you'd have a line of TK kids lining up and really, really fearful. They were just ready to go. So bravo to all of the schools that use that strategy to get to know or help our students become familiar with the schools and their classrooms and their teachers. It was wonderful. It was well organized. Mr. Flores, Ms. Mandy Gonzalez, she has a theme, leading with the heart, inspiring students, supporting staff, building community, creating futures. So for me, it was like such a joy to see everything like go like clockwork. There's no kids missing, there's no one lost, everybody's on their radios. The staff was like, where did all these people come from? Our security was there. It was just magnificent. What a way to start the day. It was amazing. Also, I would like to just say that coming up, there is a new law possibly being shaped by Josh Becker from Menlo Park, and it's SB 1048, and it's going to be the state seal of climate. And it will be climate literacy, and it will recognize knowledge of the Earth's climate system. And I don't think it's been passed, but we do have the seal of biliteracy and the civic engagement seal, and hopefully we'll get to see this come to life in our district and in our future. And so with that, I'm finished. Thank you.
Mr. Perquetta?
Well, I will be very, very short, yeah. First, thank you for your comments, the public, for your feedback. We had good study session talking about the Bobby Wells Elementary School in Desert Spring. We are moving that project in the right direction. And thank you, Ms. Amber Connie, for your, Dr. Agasconi, for your presentation. Thank you. And in August is when we attend, all board members attended the Rallying for Excellence at Palm Springs Convention Center. That was welcoming the entire Palm Springs Unified School District team and ready to start the 2026-2027 school year. It was impressive to see all together, teacher, administrator, counselor, classified professional, support staff, food service team, maintenance and operational staff, and everyone who contributes each day to the success of a scholar. We have the opportunity to be all together, or we had the privilege to be with more around 3,000 attendees. And when I see all that group, I relay how big is the support team that the Palm Springs Unified School District Scholar has. And that was the first day, that was a Monday. And the next day, I don't attend any, but it was the back to school night in most of the schools. But the first day of school, last Wednesday, I was witnessed how this team support the whole parent and student, directions, parent and student, providing support and services to more in the whole entire school district, to more than 8,000 students or scholars around our school district boundaries. Thank you, everyone, for the commitment and passion that you bring to this noble mission that is preparing and educating future generation. Thank you all. Thank you.
Just real quick, first of all, I'd like to thank those that addressed the board tonight. It's always really, I appreciate tremendously hearing from the community and your thoughts and your perspectives, and they're very well taken. Jeff, great job on our study session tonight. Really good things are going to be happening out at Bubbling Wells, and I appreciate that. Amber, you're doing such a great job. What an important program for this school district to help our students, our scholars, achieve everything they can achieve. You're giving them great incentive to go to school. You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you very much. I also like to recognize Mr. Roger Nunez, who I can introduce now as a candidate for this seat. He's a candidate to represent Desert Hot Springs on the school board coming in November. Good to see you, Roger. The welcome back was tremendous. One of the best I probably have participated in my 12 years here at the district. I know our superintendent's going to get all the credit, but there were other people that really did the work. No, it was really well done. Everybody did a great job. Everybody involved. I'm sure there's many names I don't know behind the scenes, but thank you all for your efforts there. And to all our staff, welcome back. From my perspective, this was one of the quietest beginning of a school year I remember in a long time, and that was really good to see. So thank you all. I'm done.
Mr. Irvin.
Yes, so I as well want to say thank you to all of the speakers that we had today. I also want to say congratulations to our Skills of America students. They, it's great to see scholars and hear the scholar stories. It's something that's really important and needed here in our district. A lot of times we hear about sports, so it's great to hear about scholars. Also, I want to say congratulations to the chief for the award that he received. The chief does a lot for the city of Palm Springs and just philanthropy-wise throughout the Coachella Valley, so congratulations to you. And on July 31st, I went to new teacher orientation with the president, Ms. Karen Cornett. It's always great to see new teachers that are coming in. They're really excited. It's great to see that excitement. I try to look back at about 2 or 3 years and see how they look after being there for about 2 or 3 years. But it's great to see all of those happy faces and excited about joining our district. And so that was a good event that we went to on August the 1st. I also went to a backpack giveaway at the pavilion for the city of Palm Springs. And so thank you, them, and all of the many other backpack giveaways that we've had across the valley to support our students. And on August the 3rd, I as well went to the welcome back at the convention center. And I would like to say Congratulations and thank you to Monica as well as Lily, the staff for Will Carr and staff. I know personally I came in a little earlier. I seen Monica with boxes lined up all over here, separating boxes, putting shirts, pom-poms everywhere. So you're right. The work that you guys do behind the scenes is just as important as a superintendent. So I just want to say congratulations to you guys. Also, August the 4th, I went to Rio Vista for the back to school night. And like always, Mr. T does a wonderful job there at the school. Like Madonna said as well, it's great for the kids to kind of know where they're going before they go to school on the first day. I thought it was a little strange at first, but it actually, you know, kind of helped my son be a little at ease as he was going into his first day of school. And August the 5th, oh, what a day. So August the 5th, me and the superintendent and quite a bit of people went around. Our first stop was at Catherine Frenchie Elementary. And so we went to Catherine Frenchie and welcomed our students there at Catherine Frenchie. Next, we went to Raymond Cree Middle School where Jody Diaz was out there with pom-poms and screaming at every single kid that walked into the building. Jody, great job. It's, you know, it's great to see the kids who are kind of shy. 6th and 8th grade are awkward a little bit. The students are kind of, you know, they weren't too excited with us out there with pom-poms screaming and yelling, but Jody figured out some sort of way to make all of the kids laugh. So good job to Jody and also Bernie. You guys did a wonderful job. It was really hot and kind of humid that day, so we were able to keep hydrated and keep moving, and our last step was Palm Springs High School. So we went to Palm Springs High School as well, welcomed in Anthony Rice, our new principal there. He was already in action. The young ladies had some shorter shirts on, and he was on top of it. So it's great to see that we're going to have a principal now that's going to be on top of our students and making sure that they're doing everything that they need to do from day one. And so congratulations to him. And I just want to say welcome to all our students back to school. I hope you guys have a wonderful year, all the staff, all of our teachers, our administrators. It seems like we were just here yesterday, but now it's time to kick into action, and that concludes my comments.
Thank you. I also want to thank the people who provided public comments tonight. The board always likes to take into consideration what the public has to say, and we appreciate you. Also, congratulations to tonight's honorees, especially our Skills USA scholars, Chief Mills, for all that he's done for not only our district, but for the city of Palm Springs, and also to our parents, Norma and Ricardo Flores, for their contribution to Skills USA Scholars. Thank you, Jeff Simmons, for your of all the information you gave us about modernization. It's not easy, and we appreciate that. Also to Amber Gascoigne, thank you so much for all that you do for our kids and for updating us on ELOP. And all the activities. It's amazing activities that our kids get to participate in. And if you talk to kids, some of them actually come to schools for the after-school program. And they do. It's really helped, I think, with attendance also. Along with Dr. Funchess and staff members, we attended, it's called the Middle College High School Press Event, which was great, together with a COD Superintendent President Val Martinez Garcia, COD Trustee Chair Ron Oden, and staff. The middle school, high school concept was introduced to the public. Our middle school, high school partnership with COD will help our students get a head start on their journey. It's really going to be, I think, something fabulous for our district to offer our scholars. Along with other board members and Dr. Fanchett's cabinet and district staff, we attended the new Teachers Welcome. It's always great to see all those fresh new faces, and some of them are just starting their careers and some of them are more experienced, but they're new to the Palm Springs family, and we really want to wish them well for this year. Also, the fabulous PR staff gave loads of things out for our new teachers, and also nutritional services actually provided a really nice breakfast for everybody. And thank you for the dedicated staff who worked to prepare for the welcome back. Been in the district a long time, and it was absolutely fabulous to have everybody together. A long time ago, that might have been possible because we didn't have so many employees, but in today's world, we have lots of employees, so it was really great to see all of everybody together, and really that it was so energetic, and to see our kids performing and welcoming. And I really want to thank all of the staff, tech, HR, the superintendent's office, Lily and Monica, business services, educational services, everybody that did a great job. It was amazing also to see really the talents of our young people and how they really did the MC. They were amazing, it really was. I got to attend the Boys and Girls Club of Cathedral City Backpack and School Supplies giveaway last Saturday. Also, Read With Me was there giving out books. The Automobile Club was giving out supplies. So it was really nice to see everybody. In the community, I mean, we've had so many backpack giveaways and people in the community really supporting our students, so it's really something nice to see. So welcome back, everybody, and hope you have a great year. And next up, we have Dr. Funches with his comments.
All right, thank you, Board President Cornett. Board, if you can go to that first slide there. Thank you, sir. You can go to that first slide there. Before I start in on that, I wanted to say we serve in an incredible district. We serve where we have excellence in front of us, as noted by Director Gascoigne's presentation tonight, and the excellent work being done for our scholars before and after school. Job well done, and focusing in on the academic piece. And what you heard from Mr. Simmons and team as well. I want to thank you for the vision to move forward Bubbling Wells Elementary and make sure that's a school that our parents can be very proud of. And I want to acknowledge our speakers tonight as well, so we heard you. As we delve into 2026, I want to take a moment to make sure that I give credit where credit's due. I want to thank the board for their leadership as we enter this new year. I want to thank you for your support of our team and what we are doing moving forward. And our PSTA leadership who's in the house tonight, I want to thank you for your work as well, and Teamsters, and all of our educators, our scholars out there, our families. Thank you for calling PSUSD home. And as we jump into 2026 to 2027, you'll hear a lot about this concept or this notion of PSUSD excellence. Next slide. And so that it's very simple. 3 pillars will guide our work as we move forward: is equity and excellence, its sense of belonging and connectedness, and its organizational excellence. Next slide. And so I want to point out these things that we've done here in relationship to those pillars. And I want to thank the board again for their vision and participating and partnering with College of the Desert. Thank you for making sure that that partnership exists. And I also want to thank those who were in attendance that day, our College of the Desert colleagues, Val Garcia and their board. I want to thank our new DLA principal, Kim Ballard, for her leadership as well, and our Ed Services team. Yeah, Kim Ballard, as well as our Ed Services team that has brought to fruition this vision of partnering with COD to make sure that we give opportunities for our scholars to not only be enrolled on our campuses, but enrolled simultaneously with college, earning college credits as well. Next slide, please. Also in that pillar, my hat's off to Garrett Shaberjohn. Get that right? Laura Musil and team in student services. I believe this was the first TKK resource fair. Now that's how you get scholars and families prepared for the new school year. You give them the information, resources, and tools necessary. You have them answer questions and get them ready. And not only that, you make them feel welcome. Job well done to Garrett. Next slide, please. And then moving on to Pillar 2. Now that welcome back, I do want to thank Monica and Team Will Carr and anyone that had the chance to get that, to put that in motion, to have 3,000 staff members in one room, to feel valued and a part of something great. That's excellent. So my hat's off to you all. Good job. I'll take the blame for the sound system and the things that we need to fix. So that's where I'll come in and make sure that we look at that and try to get better. But the welcome back, job well done, and thank our teams for being there. I want to thank our board too. They had those pom-poms up and were ready to go. Remember that? They did a good job there. Thank you. Next slide, please. First day of school. Our first day of school, we saw a lot of welcoming, open arms. As Madonna said, some very encouraging discussions going on there and welcoming our families by our educators, by our classified staff, our leaders, and our hearts were full. Our police officers were there, our community partners. Now that's how you welcome scholars back to school. That's how you make sure that families feel like they belong here. And Brenda Santana, excellent job. She did the Spanish version for me. And I stuck to the English part of the interview, but I want to thank Brenda Santana and the whole CCE staff for a wonderful kickoff to the first day of school. Next slide as well. Our pro-grow training that was discussed. In terms of valuing our classified employees and giving them professional learning opportunities, you can't get any better than that. As was stated, they had the opportunities to get the skills and training they need to make sure that they're meeting the needs of our scholars. So Laura Musel, Laura Dyson, and Jen Avner, well done. Next slide. And then finally, to our HR team, Clayton Hill, and all of his team, hiring about 89 plus educators for the new school year. And what stood out was the time you took to make sure that those educators got off to a good start in the new teacher orientation. That's what an excellent organization does, and I want to thank you and the whole HR team. Brad Sauer in the house as well. Thank you very much. And last slide. You may see these individuals on our campuses or even here in the board meeting. And I want to take a special, I want to send a special shout out to Mr. Alex Borrego. And the whole security team. I have watched you all build relationships with young people, mentor them, coach them, have excellent customer service, as Dan is back there at this time. Sorry, I keep hitting this microphone. And Mrs. Rebecca Bloom, who's here as well. I want to thank you for not only providing safety for our district, which you all do at a very high level, but the way you build relationships with our scholars and our families and our staff. Thank you. You are a representative of PSUSD excellence. And I think that's it for me tonight. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all.
Thank you, Dr. Von Chest. Item 16A, approval of certificated and classified employee transactions, OE-4.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16A? Can I get a motion?
Move the motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Approval of agreement number C0006004, Grant Program Services Agreement with Think Together for the 2027 After School ACES Program, OE-6.2. Can I get a motion to approve 16B?
Move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passed. 16C, approval of speech-language pathologists to be employed under Education Code Section 44831 for the 2026-2027 school year, OE-4.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16C?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. 16D, approval of compromise and release agreement number 2627-01 between parent and district dated July 23rd, 2026, OE-6.1. Can I get a motion to approve 16D?
Move the motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passed. 16E, approval of compromise and release agreement number 2026-2027-02 between parent and district dated July 24th, 2026, OE-6.1. Can I get a motion to approve 16E?
Move.
Can I get a second? Are there any questions?
Aye. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a question.
Okay.
Kidding.
No, you have no question? Okay, good. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. 16F, approval of revision to monitoring report results R1, vision and mission BC-3.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16F?
Move for approval.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions?
No, but I do have a comment. This is the first time that we, together with our new superintendent, really had the chance to work on our board policies. And this was really powerful for us to evolve and to change our mission statement, our policies together to, I guess we work together to improve and to enhance our work. So with that and our mission statement and all the changes coming up, I just thank our board president, Dr. Funches, all of our members that helped us revise our board policies, because it's not that easy sometimes. And we're trying to pick the right words, but we're trying really to refine what we do. So I'm so proud of all the work that we're going to improve. And that's my comment. That's all.
Thank you.
Did you want to mention anything about the use of the word scholar at all? Okay.
You go ahead.
No. So if you look at our mission statement, if you at home get an opportunity to look at the statement, or if you happen to be online, we are transitioning from calling our students to scholars. And so you'll see that going around the district for a lot of the documentation and information around addressing our students as scholars.
Thank you for those comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Approval of revision to monitoring report results R2, achievement BC-3.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16G? Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. 16H, approval of revision to monitoring report results R3, citizenship BC-3.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16H?
Move for approval.
Can I get a second? Thank you. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. 16I, approval of revision to monitoring report results R4, health and personal development BC-3.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16I? Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passed. Item 16J, approval of revision to governing board policy, operational expectations, OE-4, personnel administration, BC-3.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16J?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passed. 16K, approval of revision to governing board policy, operational expectation, OE-9, communicating with the public, BC-3.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16K? Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. 16I, approval of revision to governing board policy, operational expectation, OE-10, instructional program, BC-3.4. Can I get a motion to approve?
Moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passed. 16M, approval of revision to governing board policy, operational expectation, OE-11, learning environment / treatment of students, BC-3.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16M?
I'll move it.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. 16N, approval of governing board policy, operational expectation, OE-12, facilities, BC-3.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16N?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. 16O, approval of revision to governing board policy, operational expectation, OE-13, diversity and racial equity, BC-3.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16O?
Move for approval.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passed. 16P, approval of revision to Palm Springs Unified School District Governing Board Policy, BC-2, governing commitments, BC-3.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16P?
I move the motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passed. 16Q, approval of revision to Palm Springs Unified School District Governing Board Policy, BC-7, Board Members Code of Conduct, BC-3.4. Can I get a motion to approve 16Q?
Moved.
Can I get a second? Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Items 17A through D, superintendent's consent items. Would anyone like to pull an item for discussion or review? Can I get a motion to approve superintendent's consent items 17A through D?
Move for approval.
Can I get a second? Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. 17A, acceptance of gifts, OE dash, oops, sorry, we're going to go down to 18. Information. Information items 18A. As a reminder, the following agenda items are informational only and require no action. The board has received and renewed this information. 19, do any board members have suggestions for future agendas?
I don't have a suggestion for a future agenda, but in our last Friday, there was a comment about one of our schools. The attendance was lower than we had expected, and I appreciate knowing that, but some analysis as to maybe why we think that's happening, I would really like. I think it would help us understand better. Thanks.
Thank you. Setting of the, number 20, setting of our next board. Our regular board meeting will be held on August 25th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Number 21, debrief. Does anybody else have anything else to say? Any other comments?
Do we need, I'm sorry, back to suggestions. Do we need a study session on blue zones and then discussion on that? I'm not sure if that's something that's needed. Have any ideas?
At this time, that's an excellent question. I think what we might be able to do is provide a little bit more information on the next steps around blue zones and what we will be doing to have them support our health and wellness initiatives. And if that doesn't suffice, then I would suggest maybe the next step is a study session. But if we can get some of the information to you at a very deep level, maybe start with that. That's my recommendation.
Okay, is that okay? Great. Number 22, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Move for approval.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?